Hi, everyone, and welcome to an In Broadcast. I am your host, Kandice, and today we are going to be talking about the North Node and the energy that it gives off. So, welcome. Sit back, relax, enjoy your cup of coffee, or as you're cooking your meal today, I hope you are learning something about astrology that maybe you didn't know. And by the end of this episode, you'll be ready to dive into your own North Node and to see how that actually can help you propel into your destiny, into your alignment, into the things that you feel that you are being called to do in this lifeline. So, let's just first dive into what exactly is the North Node in astrology, what is its purpose, and how to really see it in your own perspective right now in this reality, your reality. And on top of that, we're going to be diving into understanding both the North Node and the South Node, how they work together, not against each other. We're also going to be diving into the overview of the zodiac signs within the North Nodes, which will give you some kind of insight about what to really look for in your own natal chart as you're going through this mini lesson with us today. Well, I first would just like to say that I truly believe that the North Node is pretty much like our version of a fortune teller. This energy between the two nodes can actually help us understand what we can grow and what we can let go, what we cannot kind of rest on, and what we can utilize to help us propel to. It's a nice, beautiful way of saying that these are the destiny points in astrology. These are known as the North Node and the South Node. Now, I have heard that a few astrologers or people in general would just like to separate these two energies, and I would like to say no go because they actually work very well together. That's why they are polarity signs in the zodiac. They are the sister energy, and it's really just breaking it down like what are the negative traits and what are the positive traits, and it just depends on what side of the North Node that it's on, really, if we're breaking it down like that. So these nodes really do work together because it helps you have a beautiful articulate balance of where you're constantly going in the present reality that's going to shape or propel you to what you're supposed to be doing. It's a really beautiful way of just saying I kind of already knew, but seeing that or feeling that is validating what I already kind of internally know. And it's about really taking that gut way of just going with it and doing it. And that zodiac sign really does provide a more structural way of navigating in that to understand your own placements within that. It's also considered like a more symbolic of the two when it comes to like karmic imbalance. One may, energy may be referencing like where they're coming from, and the other one may represent something that they are going to or towards. Like I mentioned, it's really understanding like what do you have to let go in order for you to gain this or this particular trait or whatever you want to say, and that's why they're often called the nodes of destiny. The North Node is represented by the direction where we're heading. It is the focus of consciousness, like consciously being aware of your growth and the things that you're trying to do. Evolution, honestly, it's a constant. I'm utilizing this energy to continuously propel me to the next level. Every single time I do this, I level the fuck up. That's like literally what this energy is saying. It may be unknown and foreign to you when you first start to try to utilize it, but I promise you, the more that you're tapping into that energy, oh, it gets so much more smoother because you start to get accustomed to it. You start to really adjust to it, especially if you're being cautiously aware and subconsciously aware when you're dabbling back into those negative traits that don't suit you and haven't suited you. So it's a, like I said, it's a karmic weird balance, but the more you understand the dance, the further you actually get to continue to go within your own evolution of self, which is chef kiss, you know what I mean? And like destiny in itself, lunar nodes are not, tangible objects, obviously, right? The north node and the south node are mathematical points within space. So Earth, obviously orbits around the sun. The moon obviously orbits around Earth. So basically, as the Earth is orbiting around the sun, the moon is orbiting around the Earth. The moon's path that intercepts both like the sun and the moon at the same time, this is where we get the actual lunar nodes, like points in time in your birth chart. Okay, so they're always on the opposite side and they always work with each other, like I mentioned before, because they are the sister signs. They work well with each other, they balance each other out in some capacity. So, as we're talking about the north nodes as like obviously points, they're not a planet or an asteroid, right? These are just specific points within your natal chart. And so, as we're taking in these nodes, the zodiac sign is basically the energy that it's possessing. It is the epitome of what you need to grow into or what we're letting go in some capacity. But it's really allowing yourself to show different kinds of experiences or to captivate more, to get to know a more secure version of self. It is going to help you elevate. With that all being said, with all the north node, the south node, right? Now, this is the opposite energy. This is representing where we are coming from. It is acting as information of our past foundations, our kind of like roots and the beginning points of our journey. Like, this is where we made a lot of mistakes. This is where we done a lot of the same things, the negativity, the habits, the insecurity, not feeling safe, the feeling the inability to actually rest. We're on flight or flight kind of mode. There's a lot of danger that we don't know how to navigate, and it's hard for us to navigate. We've probably done a lot of terrible things, or we use copingism stuff to help us navigate these things. And this is what we're trying to learn not to do anymore. Like, this is where we started with, but we don't need this as we're going on to the next level. It's pretty much what it is. It's more of an astrotistic kind of standpoint when it comes to it. It really is saying, like, this is your soul's past. This is what your soul used to do. It used to experience. It used to be this way. Now that we know this is what you used to do, moving forward, this is what you should do. Especially when you should, like, better and you still do the opposite. Yeah, like, it's absolutely telling you that you need to let that go in some capacity, because those things are holding you back to your actual destiny, the things you're supposed to be and meant to be experiencing. This also leaves like a remnants of like what you're leaving behind too, because it does naturally kind of excel any remains of who you were and the natural talents that you started with. And even though those things may sound bad, they're actually not. It's just another way of saying, like, this is what I used to indulge in. This is what I used to like fall back on. I know now I don't need to do that. I know better, or I've been sober before. I just need to, there's other things that we can do, but it's characterized or in the subject of the zodiac sign. Now, to just give you a little bit of context about like me in general and just what my south and north node are, right? I am a Pisces north node with a Virgo south node. I didn't really understand what this meant for a while, because I would stare at it and I'd be like, this is so hard. You're telling me that my rising sign is a Virgo, but I can't see my day to day life as a Virgo because if I do, I'm in the energy of my South Node. And these are the things I need to let go because I need to be more in this Piscean, go with the flow, spiritual kind of thing. And how am I supposed to do that every single day when things do require planning? And that's when I learned it's more of a balance of it. Like there, the good traits of Virgo is planning. It is, organizing, getting things ready, right? But it's when it becomes the perfectionist, it becomes over analyzing, when it becomes like you are going over beyond for things and doing things you don't need to because it's already been done, completed. That's when you're stumping yourself because you're not allowing yourself to just be like, okay, I'm done. I figured it out. Like you're with the flow. You're not going against the current. You're going with it. You're adjusting. You're allowing yourself to not be frigid. And when I started to learn just those little things, I was like, yeah, I am frigid. Yeah, I am a little anal and analytical, not only towards myself, but also to my kids. And these are kids. These kids don't need to know this shit or feel this way about like their room or how things are being clean like I know because that's how I felt. I was like, I'm a child. How am I supposed to know this is supposed to be this fucking clean? The fuck? So I can just imagine. And when I started to really understand the concept of just that alone, it helped me tremendous. And then when I was really understanding more about my Piscean energy, it was music, my spirituality gift, me being clairaudient, always hearing thoughts, being telepathic, not knowing what I'm hearing, but I'm hearing it, like this is my gift and it's heavy with my Scorpio, Sun, and Venus energy as well. So it was just very a weird tide of how I could hear and see things. I can understand things. I could, you know, if I saw something like in my third eye, I would draw it and picture it out and write about it. And then when it actually happened in my reality, like, did I see the future? Am I just connecting to the future? Is this just me tapping into that gift that's allowed me to see things that helps me propel my life? And I was like, you know what? I need to learn more about this Piscean energy, in the North Node. Because it's really telling about where and who I am and how that's affecting me. So, like, right now in some capacity, you know what I mean? It's beautiful. It's a beautiful way for you to really see how, like, just that alone. And then when I dove in more into it, I was really understanding how the Piscean energy of just like an artist, music, being a little bit different with your creativity, but being creative in general, you know. Pisceans do have their negatives, right? Like that is the addiction or bypass, passive aggressiveness sometimes, yes. They have their own way of processing their emotions sometimes, and it can be negative. But in this case, right, the positives that it brings is that it really is tapped into the other side. And that tap can push you really towards a whole new version of what you're looking for or what you're wanting, which is pretty goddamn cool in my opinion, Also, just want to go back into the North Node, with my Piscean energy. This alone, with this broadcast, this show you're listening to, I really wanted to have it be something spiritually related. I didn't want the conversations that we have on here out anywhere else other than on YouTube or the podcast show. That's it. Because these conversations are more deeper and they have more context, and you can actually sit down and listen to what I'm trying to say rather than pushing it into like a 3-minute video, which is pushing it. I would rather you or they who are coming into watching and listening, coming with the mind of really understanding of my POV of like how this beautiful tool has helped me. And utilizing this and connecting to it in a different way by utilizing tarot or just my own gifts, charms, manifesting, writing, waddle, water manifesting as well. Like there's so many things that I've utilized with this just by tapping into that north node energy because Pisces is water. So with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into the zodiac signs that are represented in the north node. Okay, I'm not going to go into the south node because honestly you can just go the opposite of this, and you can also just Google it. You know what I mean? I don't have your chart with me. And there's a lot of different interpretations with this, so please just, take something with a grain of salt. Again, if you plug in your own information in Google, you'll find the answer that you're needing because there's degrees, there's other variables that are tied with your north node, okay? So, number one, we have Aries. This is basically your lessons and rewards and your themes of leadership, balance, okay? Stepping out of the crowd and really being that leader and star. Prioritizing your own goals, really like focusing on self, captivating more courage or captivating something in general that provides you to have this form of a new stance, confidence, courage, strength. It's very strong here. And embracing your desires, okay? Also trusting your gut, like not being afraid of what's being told to you, but really saying F you, kind of, because what I feel and know that's gonna work. I'm gonna be consistent, I'm gonna be hustling, I'm gonna do it, you know what I mean? Like it's gonna be beautiful for you because you're gonna be really in your element. So that be Aries. Taurus babies. You are basically your lessons and rewards are themes of basically your personal value, like how you feel within self, establishing really strong boundaries. Okay. Really allowing yourself to have a equal relationship. Okay, not one is more than the other. You're completely balanced in that. And not only that, but there is this form of new strength within yourself. Like it's a powerful strength. I think too also Taurus rules the head. So or like what does Taurus? I don't know, I feel like your just energy's more stronger. Your skin's more thicker, you're more mentally strong, emotionally strong, you're just strong. So it's beautiful. Next we got our Gemini. My Gemini babies, your rewards and lessons are centered around the themes when it comes to really expressing your voice and not feeling like you are having to mitigate or not being able to fully express what you're thinking, feeling, experiencing. You are meant to talk. And as a fellow Gemini, Chiron is mine. I have to talk about my feelings in order for me to feel good. Yeah, like I get it. Like totally get it. You really do though have to express your voice. You have to communicate your needs. You have to speak up your boundaries. You have to talk. And that's probably the hardest thing for you because you never talk, or when you have in the past, it hasn't done you any good. But you have to do it. The more you do it, the more comfortable you become within your own skin, and you allow yourself to really develop a more general value within self and where self wants to go just by communicating and expressing these boundaries and desires. Now we have our Cancer babies. For you, is really just embracing your emotions. I know you guys are just little babies, and you like to go in your own hole sometimes. You like to just disappear. You like to just be in your own energy, which is fine, which is good. Okay. The only thing I just want to say is that when you fully give yourself of letting go of the need to always control it, okay, just let yourself be and cry. You're gonna do wonders for yourself. You're gonna just be like, you know, falling in love with self again. Also, let people take care of you. Okay. You also need tender love and care, and you'll crave it anyway. That's literally what you're saying all the time, but yet you don't allow yourself to actually get it and crave it. You know what I mean? So, crave it. Leos. Leos. Okay. For you, I absolutely want to say that your rewards and the thing that like continue to push you through is when you are in the spotlight, baby. You are meant to be in the spotlight. You're meant to take your turn or turns. Okay. People get captivated by your creativity, and when you are not allowing yourself to be creative, you are stumping yourself by tenfold. Okay. Not only that, but your relationships gets better. Your ego and your humanity towards self and other individuals gets way better. You become more about releasing people in pleasing ways, but more of a I love you from a distance. I don't have to renegade who I am to finish this project or talk about X, Y, and Z. Like it's a nice balance basically. It's not that control that Leos have a hard tendency to do when they fall in love with someone. So it's a beautiful transition. Virgos. I would like to say from one Virgo to another, it's really about establishing healthy boundaries within your home and your healthy habits. Really taking care of self, your personal and spiritual growth. Okay. It's really about cultivating a more clarity within your life, where you want to go, how you want to do, letting go of that inner critic within your mind. Believe me, I fucking know. And really mastering your craft, like your energy, your greatness of being able to succeed and get things done. Okay, the more you're letting go of those little things, especially that inner critic, you just like flourish so much more with that alone, you know? To all my Libras, this is really about finding harmony and balance within the adjustments within yourself and partnerships, letting go of strong opinions, lying, balancing out your pleasures and your desires as well, though, and cultivating like really healthy relationships. You know, it takes two to tango. So even though you feel like this person is toxic, you are too also doing some toxic things. So it's a time to reflect and trying to see like what about this thing that I can do to kind of change that right now, basically. To my Scorpio babies, hi, hello. You need to really make sure that you are balanced between your spiritual growth as well as your material worlds. Letting go of obsessive qualities and relationships and finding the peace in the chaos. Like, as a fellow Scorpio sun, I understand. But sometimes you do need to tap into your darker tendencies. That darker tendency is going to help propel you, baby. Okay. It may not be the thing that you want to do, but it is something that will help you move forward. And it is such like a beautiful thing. I'm here to tell you. Sagittarius, baby, you need to be exploring the unknown. Okay. You need to be going out there having a blast, not knowing what the next day is going to come, because that's when you start to really push your own boundaries and you accept new things just by you becoming your own adventure. Okay. Release certain boundaries that are not yours and develop more spiritual ones that are going to help you stay aligned. And be more present. Okay, you don't have to be so like rigid and stuff, you know, or have to captivate it on a phone. Literally just put down your phone and be more present, baby. You're gonna help yourself so much better. I promise. I literally fucking promise. Capricorn. um, you have a softer side in you. Can you just like allow yourself to do it? Like, can you allow yourself to just love, experience love, be a little softy? Okay. It's okay for you to do that. You don't have to be this need to self-sacrifice in relationships. I need to do everything. You don't need to do that. You can actually let someone help you and love you. This is really allowing you to love more, and this opens up your inner child, your ability to see what happened during that childhood. That can allow you to understand and have more self discipline, but also letting go of those fears so that you embrace more love, joy, happiness, peace. You know what I mean? Aquarius, you need to learn how to balance out the spotlight and the inner humanitarian of you, meaning wanting to always be the center of attention, but also at the same time to bring in that peace. Sometimes it's warranted and sometimes it's not. And sometimes you really don't know if you're doing it right or wrong. It's kind of like knowing when your energy is at the highest for this moment. Learning to accept different alternative routes. Sometimes you're wrong. Okay. Sometimes you are wrong. Aquarius as men, especially. Sometimes you know you are wrong and you don't want to admit it, but allow yourself to see the other point of view from other people. You're not always right. Also, you're weird. So just allow your weirdness to grow. Okay. It's okay to be, it's okay to do your own thing and be who you are, but it's also be respectful of other people and like what's going on. Be open. That pushes you further than you can ever imagine. Okay. And finally, but certainly not least, my sign, Pisces. And hey, y'all. Okay, so like chaos and order, balance, destructive, but new beginnings. It's really about learning to not control, but like ground the emotions, the values within ourselves and other people. Enjoying the slowness of life a little bit. Be a little bit more and like be a little bit more in the flow of things, especially like the flow of like how you want life to be for yourself. That means you have to actually move in that direction and like implement that every day. And it's also helping you moving towards like your manifestations when you do, because you're not so chaotic. It's not so weird. You're literally going with the flow of how you are receiving this thing and you're open to it. You're not constrained. You're not blocked. You're open. You're flowing. You're good. So that's Pisces. That was all of the signs. I hope this really helped you understand just like a little bit. Now, this even goes even deeper when you get into the house, like I talked about in episode one, where you can add the different placements all together and you get that different type of energy, right? So, say your house is in the 11th house and you are actually, let's go the opposite. Let's go the north node is in your first house, the south node is in your seventh house, and it's in the zodiac signs of Libra and Aries, or do Aries and Libra. Okay, Aries, Libra, follow me, okay? Your North Node is really going to tell you that the more you are pushing towards yourself and your own identity, with it being in that first house, you are really tapping into your energy by tenfold, because not only you're Aries, but you're Aries North Node as well. You are meant to be moving and doing insanely amount of things. You are action. You are fire, bro. You are constantly on the move for self. Your ego may be high as fuck, but that's because you know you're the shit. And the more you know you're the shit, the more good things and like alignment, that destiny kind of energy follow lines for you. So you had to learn that some people are not going to be able to come with you with that Libra South Node. You can't bring people with you. You can't be delulu about certain people, especially the type of energy or the actions that they shown with you. The seventh house also rules other people's money. So they probably you probably seen some things in your past or had failed relationships in regards to money, how they would pay you or just respect you and your values. You may want to build something on your own and not have to worry about someone else, or contracts related. There's so many things that comes with this, but it's just like understanding those two. You can really understand, like, if I see that within my own life, like, yeah, I am a go-getter. Yeah, like I do like doing these things. I do like hustling. I do like doing that. But like I have had experience with people shy from me with fucking money and making me think twice about relationships or like doing certain contracts and stuff. Like, you're right. Now that I know that cautiously, I can start to really move in the direction that feels good, which is hustling. Do what makes me feel good. Going hand for that. Do whatever I need to do to continue to level myself up because that makes me feel good. Yeah, that's the common themes. That's the things that you get with these North Node placements. It's really fucking cool when you start to think about it. And I'm excited. I'm excited because I actually want to let you guys know that next episode, I'm going to be diving into my friend Nicole's chart. Thank you so much, Nicole, for allowing me to take a look at your energy and see like what your North Node is, because I was talking to her about it and she says, yeah, I've been wanting to dive in. I was like, this is literally what I wanted to talk about with my audience and my community. So you're just in alignment to what I'm saying. And so she so graciously allowed me to pull up her information, and we are going to be diving into her North Node way more intricacy, and we're gonna be diving into it for sure. So anyway, if I would like to just say thank you so much for watching and listening for today's episode. I hope I can see you guys next week. Please make sure you are subscribing or tapping in some capacity. I would love to hear from you, especially what your North Nodes are, because I feel like we can tap in and help each other and just know that like I mentioned, if you take it one step at a time, you're going to be able to find ways that it matches your current energy that's allowing you to see where you can go with this just by using astrology. So, thanks for listening to the North Node podcast. I'm your host, Kandice, and I will catch you guys at the next episode. Bye, guys. Bye.